What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and welcome to another installment of Micro Brand Monday, where I go ahead and explore various micro brands that have sent in watches to the office, and I've gotten a boatload lately. Now guys, please don't get it twisted. This series, I'm having a whole bunch of fun taking a look at micro brands, but it's not supposed to be any form of advertisement, and I tell the companies that. So they often do send in the watches and sponsor the episodes, and we're thankful for that support. Again, helps me and my editors make 6 pieces of content a week for you guys, but I tell them, hey, this is going to be a 100% impartial review. If I don't like the watch that you send me, or if I find something wrong, I'm going to say that, and all these companies are for the most part very cool with that, so we thank them. But today we're going to be taking a look at a Nove, so special thanks to Nove for sending in this watch and essentially sponsoring the review. Again, this is going to be a 100% impartial inspection of this Nove watch. I've never heard of them until a few of you guys mentioned it in my social media, and until they hit me up. And again, perfect timing, Micro Brand Monday. Let's go ahead and take a look at this watch. Got something here. What is this? Ooh. Okay, we got some marketing here. Nove, connect with us, all their social media. It says, welcome to the Novest life. Okay, remember the joy of life, embrace the charms of the present. Thank you. We love seeing pictures of our clients with their new watches. All right, I guess I'm part of the Novest life, guys, and I'm taking you with me. Let's open the box and get a little closer. It's 10:37 a.m. Let's get down to business. Okie dokie, guys, time to break open this box. All right, we got a nice kind of leather clamshell case. Almost is kind of like one of those watch pods, but this is a bit bigger. Got nice, what is this? What do you call this? Embossed, debossed case. Cool little Nove logo. Let's take a look at this manual. So this has some interesting stuff in it because when they wrote to me and I took a look at their watch, this is not like any other watch I've seen. It has kind of an interesting quirk, and I think you guys are going to find it fairly interesting as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual watch, then I'll talk about what is inside that manual. Okay guys, so remember when I said that I would never wear a wooden watch, and that I've never really been engaged with any companies that produce wooden watches? Well, 3 years later, since starting the channel, a company that finally has kind of a wooden watch has engaged with me, and that's Nove. They have this watch called the Craftsman, and I know a bunch of my viewers have been like, oh, here's a wooden watch, here's a wooden watch, well, check out this wooden watch. They all look kind of silly and unappealing. This is definitely an interesting design, but it's not fully wooden, okay? Looks like the bezel definitely has wood, and you can see the screws or rivets going through that wood, but for the most part, it's a metal watch. Let's go ahead and get even closer, and I can take off this crystal protection here, because you guys are a bunch of freaks and you love that. All right, here it is. Your favorite. Alright, so as we inspect this watch a little further, you'll notice, yeah, definitely a unique design, but the wooden bezel isn't what makes this watch so interesting to me. It's that the more you look at it, the more you realize there's no crown. That's kind of bizarre. You know, whenever I am kind of inspecting a watch, I'm always taking a look at the crown feel. Does it have a threaded crown? Does it actually have a water resistance rating I would trust? Well, this Nove Craftsman says it has a 200-meter water resistance rating, but again, there is no crown that I can see anyway. Wait a minute. What do we have here? Is this some form of rotor? Is it like a counterweight? Do you wind it? Well, let's talk about this. Actually, there's more plastic to pull off, so let's do that first. So actually, now that we're back here, we're starting to touch upon something that I was getting at when we looked at the manual. Okay, this is really the unique part about this watch. As I mentioned, there are no crowns, and I thought initially that this was some kind of display case back and this was like a rotor or something, but this is a Swiss-made quartz. As we can see here, it says Swiss-made sapphire crystal, Nove, 200 meter water resistance rating, and then I suppose the reference number. This is what I guess we would consider the crown. So to open it, you spin this counterclockwise and you'll feel it kind of pop up, and you can actually press it like a button here. And this is actually how you set the time. Okay, so if you tap it, you'll notice the minute hand is moving, or if you hold it down, it'll start moving all by itself, all right, without you having to hold the button. And then to stop it, you just touch the crown again. We'll let it move into a more appealing position. Boom, perfect. There we go. Cool. Takes a little bit to get used to, excuse me, because obviously I've never done this before with this kind of setting operation. But to close it, you just push it down and you spin it clockwise. Man, this is all confusing me because I've never actuated a time function like this. But it is very, very unique. And again, I've never seen anything like this. A few of my channel members, when I sent a picture of this watch to that Discord chat, they were like, wow, that's crazy. You should definitely review that watch. So yeah, very interesting operating procedure. It'll take definitely a bit of time to get used to. I mean, I just took this out of the package and I'm just fiddling with it right now in front of the camera. I'm sure you'd be able to figure it out, but I just wanted to showcase that for you because that is just very, very different. Now we can see there is a hang tag that we will remove and some plastic on the buckle. Oh, there's some interesting design there, the Nove N, their logo. Let's go ahead and remove this. We can measure it and put it on the wrist. All right, guys, so now comes the time that we measure this watch. Full disclosure, my first thought when I took this watch out of the box was, wow, this is gonna be very big on the wrist. And it's a hefty watch as well for it being quartz, but we won't know that until we put it on the wrist and we measure it. Again, I do think it's probably going to wear large on the wrist. Let's confirm or deny that by measuring it. So excluding any crown, which this watch does not have, at the widest point, this is 50.1 millimeters in diameter. That's a big measurement there, guys. This watch does utilize an integrated strap. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit, but lug to lug, let's see. Oh, that can't be right. 61.5 millimeters. That is going to wear enormously on the wrist, guys. Let's do the thickness. 13.2 millimeters. That's fairly thick for a quartz watch. So honestly, this Nove Craftsman is going to be a big boy on the wrist. That is for sure. Let's go ahead and put it on. Whoa, okay, here's another thing that just wigged me out here. When I tried to put the watch on, I was like, is the buckle broken? No, it uses a very interesting buckle. So this is not your standard watch strap buckle, but that just was something interesting, so I had to share that with you. Okie dokie, guys. So I have 7.5 inch wrists. Pretty much everything about this watch is big, even on my wrists. As you can see, those integrated lugs, the integrated strap, it kind of makes its way over the edges of my wrists, which for me is not really a look I tend to like. If you are one of those people that has very large wrists, this will probably work out for you. For me, not so much. I guess, you know, I gotta get my weight up, boy. But yeah, very big on the wrist. Also, again, for a quartz watch, fairly thick. Now, what I will say is it does have this nice kind of concaved design here, so it is actually very, very comfortable. It doesn't feel cumbersome. You definitely know you're wearing a watch though, and again, for a quartz watch, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, very, very large dimensions here and a very interesting case design. As you can see, the head of the watch is kind of wood and it makes its way all the way to the case back, but then here you have metal kind of overlapping, sandwiched. Very interesting, very futuristic, very, very modern. I'm almost getting Hublot vibes. And you guys know I'm not a huge fan of Hublot, but I think there's definitely some influence here from that kind of Hublot luxury modern aesthetic. So after spending some time with this Nove Craftsman, is this a watch I would absolutely run out and buy immediately? Me personally, just simply from the design and the whole aesthetic, probably not, because again, I'm not super interested in wood watches, and I'm not super interested in this hyper modern kind of Hublot design, but I know a lot of my viewers are definitely into this. But there's one big issue, no pun intended, that I see with this watch, and it's the case dimensions, okay? Over 60 millimeter lug to lug, that's just simply too big for a lot of people. And again, I think it was just over 50 millimeters across. Again, that's a large watch. And for most people, they have smaller wrists than myself, and this was even big for me. There's another thing that I kind of think might be a sticking point when we look at this watch. This watch is over 500 bucks for a quartz movement. Now it is Swiss made, does have a sapphire crystal, 200 meter water resistance rating, some very interesting innovation here when it comes to the design. And again, the whole aesthetic, very futuristic. You can tell they've spent some time with this watch. It feels well made. There's nothing about this watch that feels cheap at all. But what I will say is you can't change the strap easily. Like if I didn't like this strap, I wouldn't be able to switch it out. It is big on the wrist. And if you're not totally sold on this aesthetic, it's not going to be the watch for you. This is absolutely a polarizing watch. I'm a polarizing person. I know how that is. People either love me or they're repulsed by me. They are not on the fence about this, about this channel, about me. And I feel like this watch is going to be the same way. You're either going to be absolutely enamored by it the second you see it, or you're going to be repulsed by it. I don't think there's really a middle ground, and I think that could actually work in favor for Nove. Either way, I'm very excited to have one here in the office and on the channel, because this is not something I see every day. It's not something I would pull off the shelf, and that's what I love about watch collecting. You get to experience a bunch of different things and see what you like. But if you're into this hyper modern kind of amalgamation of textures here, again, or textiles, I should say, mediums, right? We have wood, we have metal, we have leather, whole bunch of stuff going on here, and a very interesting way to set the time. Then check out the Nove Craftsman. But thank you, Nove, for sending this watch in and sponsoring the episode, because again, this is not a watch I would personally experience every day, and it's very, very interesting. But guys, I want to hear from you. What do you think about this watch? But yeah, guys, please leave me that comment. Is this something you would wear? Is this something you'd be interested in? Do you like this design? Do you like that setting system? Leave me a comment. We can kind of have a conversation in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And guys, personally, I would love some feedback. Are you enjoying these Micro Brand Monday installments? Are you having as much fun as me? Because I'm having a ton of fun here looking at these micro brands. And if there's a micro brand you'd like me to explore, please leave me that comment in the comment section. We'll see if we can pick one up for the channel. So guys, thanks for enjoying this episode. Thanks for hanging out with me. And again, special thanks to Nove for wanting to take part in Micro Brand Monday. Thank you for sending me the watch and sponsoring the episode. It helps me out a whole bunch. If you, the viewer, wants to help me out, then please check out all the affiliate links in the description below. That'll take you to a bunch of really cool modern watches, watch straps, watch winders, watch toolkits, pretty much everything the watch collector needs. If you want to check out my personal website, check out www.thetimetellershop.com. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, join the channel. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time, I just tell it.